Welcome to HighScore ThrowDown with this week's host, John Knoke. Failure.
Alright, welcome to episode 2 of HighScore ThrowDown. I'm John Knoke, I'm the host this week.
Whoa, when did we get a new host?
I was fact-checking last week. We got Nick Knoke on fact-check.
I think we have a better
week.
host this time.
Oh, man.
Our panelists today, we got Joey Hill.
Reigning champ!
Original champ. We got George Gliech, BeerMoney, back again. And we got the host from last time, we got Chris Hawk.
What's up, everybody?
All right.
I think I'm like...
We got Silver here observing.
Silver's a dog, by the way.
Yes.
I think I'm like resident underdog for this thing.
All right, well, we're going to get started. We're going to go with number 1. Worst video game based off a movie. And that's going to Joey Hill first.
But I punched in!
Alright, everyone. Hey, listeners, how's it going? Your champion is back. I know through popular
Shut the hell
demand.
up and answer the damn question.
Let me just say that me personally, I'm a huge Transformers fan, and I love the Transformers movies, but the games don't do any justice to anything. They're pretty terrible all the way through. Anyone with a movie title is absolutely horrible. Glitch-tastic. The graphics are they're just bad. The story plot, it can't get. You really can't think that.
Move your elbow.
So you're picking a franchise.
Yeah, there are good Transformer games, but they're not movie based, and that was the key to the successful.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. The movie adaptations are. There isn't a single good one, not one in the entire franchise.
Okay. All right. Chris Hawk.
All right. I can't believe I'm going second.
Skipping me.
All right, I'm gonna go with a movie that I love. It's a critically acclaimed good movie, and it's called Fight Club, the video game. All right.
Is it a video game?
There's a game for Fight Club?
Yes, let me just tell you, I played it and it was terrible because it ruins the first thing about Fight Club the movie. Fight Club the movie is not about fighting, it was a front. They make it clear in the movie that Fight Club, it's not about fighting.
Well, you're not supposed to talk about
the whole point of the movie is that your possessions shouldn't own you and capitalism is bad. You know, I could be, quotationing the entire movie. It was a lot more important than that. But, okay, so the entire video game is just two people, no shirts, no shoes, fighting. These are no-name people. Why do I care about these characters? They don't matter. It's a second-rate fighting game. It's not even that good of a fighting game. All right. If you win the story mode, guess who you unlock? You unlock Limp Bizkit. Why would there be a video game where unlocking Limp Bizkit?
I don't know. This sounds awesome.
Really? Why would you not want to play Limp Bizkit?
About that?
Look,
I'm not gonna lie.
Name another game where you can be Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
Boom! I bought that game. I bought Fight Club.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, probably. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Fact check. Can you play as Limp Bizkit?
I'm not done. One more.
In
I
Tony
feel
Hawk
like
Pro
a shameless
Skater.
attempt to milk the success of the story.
All right, George. What's
There's
your
only
choice?
one movie.
The Wayne's World video game for
There's a Wayne's World video game?
Yes. Actually, there is. And it was so terrible that even the developers were like, you know what, I really don't care about this game. So they just kind of like threw it all together and said, there you go. And I guess the, the producer or whoever publishes the video game was like, whatever, the movie sucked.
Well, I mean, it was an NES game. A lot of NES games were terrible.
No, this...
I mean...
But the question was movie-based.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of terrible movie-based NES games that you could
There's a lot of terrible movie-based games. That's just...
But if you want...
The real question here, I think, is what is a successful movie game? Those are few and far between.
I think a lot of little kids like to play Transformers.
You want good...
I bet you one little kid...
Yeah, but...
favorite game is Transformers video game. No one's favorite game is Fight Club video game.
Look, I'm an avid fighter against putting family-type games in this, and I try to exclude...
Whoa, you hated family games last week.
Yeah, I still do.
Wishy-washy Mitt
I just
Romney
don't think...
over here.
I don't think that family games make a good presence. They're not going to strike the audience that we're striking. They're not going to strike the hardcore gamer. People pick up family games just for mundane entertainment. That's what they're for. You want a great gaming experience. You're not going to go to a family game.
Which, according to online reviews and as well as producer notes, Wayne's World just sucked.
Let me ask you, Joey. Pick a specific game They both have specific games, so give me a specific
Okay,
example.
recently my sister for my birthday bought me the most recent installment of the Transformers game. Now, Transformers:
What is that,
Age of
Dark-
Extinction.
Age of
It-
Extinction?
No, that was the movie that
Dark
was
of the
based
Moon.
off of. Yeah,
Did
no,
you
it
get
wasn't
Dark
Dark
of
of
the
the Moon. What was the name of the game? It had a different name. It was
Age of Cybertron? Is that?
no, it was it was like
That was a good one.
That
yeah.
was really good.
was a
I
good
don't
one.
remember what the name. It was a Transformers movie based off of Age of Extinction.
Fall of Cybertron is good too.
Recently, before that installment, though, they had Transformers War for Cybertron, which was great. The multiplayer was
He's
fantastic.
asking for
the storyline
a
was great.
specific
Well,
game.
this is why this game is so disappointing because Transformers War of Cybertron was fantastic.
He named the last one. It's fine.
Transformers Fall of Cybertron. That was a great multiplayer experience. The campaign was fantastic. It was just fun. You got to play all your classics, and they did a great job integrating Transformers into a game.
Let me ask you this: Did you play the game all the way through?
No, it's that bad. It's not worth the end.
Okay, all right.
I will say that. So my sister gets me the new Transformers for Christmas, or not for Christmas, for my birthday, and I'm excited to play it because I heard that they ported the multiplayer from War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron into it, but they just they ruined it. They tried to add all this new stuff and change things around, and they took out features like you couldn't partner with your friends and stuff. There was no co-op. It was a horrible way to come off of that what was so successful before.
But you still got what you got in the video game. If you wanted a Transformers
No,
game,
no,
it was
no,
a
no.
Transformers game. Yeah, it was.
Look,
If I can
It got
interject real
It's
fast.
kind of
It's a fact checker.
Nick knows he's got a fact.
You can't play Limp Bizkit in Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I was joking.
Well, you said it. He told me fact check. So,
All right.
He's fact checking you.
But
in Chris's
but this is-
defense, though, Limp
It's
Bizkit
kinda
is
like
somebody I would
question is,
respect.
the way
worst
I- the
video
way I
game
put it is-
based off a movie. If
but
you're
think
gonna
about
base
Spider-Man
base
1,
a video game
Spider-Man
off of a
2,
movie,
and then
it
into
should at least
Spider-Man
be about
3.
the movie
that
itself.
disappointment was there. I just
Okay, well, hold on here. Not all the Transformers movies people would say are good.
you're right.
Wayne's World and Fight Club are good movies. Chris Hawk, have you ever played the Fight Club game?
I played a little bit of it. I'm not fighting games are wishy-washy for me. I'll play it. I'll get real hyped about it.
Is it
It's a
is
yes
a
or no
legitimate
question,
fight
Dave.
game? Is there multiple characters I
There's
can
multiple
play?
characters you can play. You can play as I think it's Bitch Tit Bob from the movie. You can play as Jared Leto from the movie. You can play as, the mastermind of
This game
Mischief
sounds awesome.
Mayhem.
I don't know
You
what
can
he's
play as
talking
those
about.
characters.
I want to play as Jared Leto.
I'm not.
I wanna
You're
play
kind
Bitch
of
Tits
selling me
Bob.
on the game. You're kind of making me want to play the game
It's not that good.
because it sounds so bad. It's good.
It does really. I would play it.
What
I'm
do you?
not gonna lie.
What do you
I
do
would-
in the
I would
Wayne's World
want to
game,
play
George?
this
What do you just
You
brief
wander
description.
around shooting stuff with a laser guitar.
Okay, that sounds terrible.
It's horrible. It is absolutely terrible.
All right, I got one more question for you, and I'm gonna deliberate. One word answer, yes or no. If I bought you this game, your game, as a gift, would you beat it? Chris Hawk,
I want to unlock Limp Bizkit, yeah.
George,
Wouldn't even open it.
Joey. If I bought it for you as a gift, would you beat the game?
The Fight Club game?
No, your game,
Oh.
Transformers.
No, I didn't beat it. My sister got it for me a gift, and I didn't beat it.
Well, I'm a better friend than your sister.
I was waiting. I was waiting to move out of my parents' house so I could trade it in, and I'm going to trade it in.
All right. Well, I'm gonna decide here.
But I didn't want to hurt her feelings.
I'm gonna give it to George, and here's why. Chris Hawk argued that kids love Transformers. Kids
They
will
do.
love those games.
That's true.
But Chris Hawk also argued against himself, selling the game to me.
Oh no!
I'm giving
I
it to
love that
George.
game. I would. Hey, let's get the Fight Club game together. Me and you. We're gonna play.
I think we should.
I wanna beat it so I can beat Limp Bizkit.
I want to play as Limp Bizkit. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I'm gonna
I want to
play
play as
Jared-
Bitch Ditch Bob.
I'm gonna play as Jared Leto and beat the game as Jared Leto so I can play as Limp Bizkit.
I don't even care about beating it. I just want to play Bitch Ditch Bob.
Because Rise of the Darkspark was the Transformers game.
All right.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to
Ugh.
get fact checked.
We're gonna move into our next game, our next
Oh,
question,
man.
and that's best strategy game.
Oh man.
And up first is Chris Hawk.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with one of the best strategy games I've ever played. It's called XCOM Enemy with Unknown. It is. Picture this. It is Warhammer 40K, Fire Emblem, and Halo Wars all mixed together. It is a turn-based strategy game that sees you fending off alien invasion in a dynamic single-player campaign featuring, you can play online, your online squad versus another online squad
sounds like he's
multiplayer.
reading off of
It's dynamic because it's customization, it's enemies, and it's difficulty. All right?
He read that word for word.
I read all these my notes. This is one of the funnest parts is the customization. When you defeated enemies in the game,
VideoGameForum.com.
it opened up research capabilities to get better weapons, armor, and
really on a
abilities.
forum?
You could literally eventually become better armed than the aliens who, for most of the game, had better technology than you did. You could even name your soldiers after maybe your friends if you wanted to. In my game, I had Joey, Sean, John, Brittany, and George, and they all did great.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris Hawk. Every game that I am able to name characters, I always name them after you guys. I mean, that's not.
Also, this game is one of the most difficult games I've ever played.
Some people don't like difficult games. I mean, sometimes I get so mad at games, I don't play them anymore.
In a strategy game, I want to be challenged.
Before you go further, let's move on. George,
Okay.
Pass. I'm gonna delay.
Joey.
This isn't D&D. I swear to God, if Joey says Civ 5, I'm going to be so pissed.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Of course you are.
I love Civ 5. I think Civ 5 is the best strategy game out there because it goes into every aspect of running a civilization. It's not just like every other strategy game where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna, let's build this building, let's get these units, and then we're gonna kill the other guy.
But that's
you have to
exactly
manage
what it is.
you have to manage your economy. You have to
What's up, man?
deal with world politics. You have to deal with your science, and you have to feed your people. It takes into consideration all aspects of a civilization, not just war. Not just war. And that's something that, because you can play the entire game and not engage in a war whatsoever. And to be able to do that and to manage that kind of civilization and just go that in depth to something like that it blew my mind. I didn't realize that a game could be that in depth, that it could give you all of those options, force you to think about not just, oh, my guy's got better weapons.
But is the game like that on itself, or do you need DLC to get all those?
You do need
So you
DLC
don't-
for certain aspects, but Civ 5 straight out of the box, no DLC, is a fantastic game. It is great. Every aspect of it. It's thoroughly enjoyable. And I think because of how enjoyable it was and how in-depth it was, made me want to get that DLC.
Could a regular person play this game?
I think that it is easy enough.
Isn't it boring at first, though?
No,
Wouldn't you
I don't.
say it's boring at first?
It depends. I think your
Well,
Any
audience,
strategy game?
your audience
Any
is going
kind
to
of
have
strategy game like that where you're building armies is gonna be boring.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
a lot of
just click,
I mean,
click.
I think XCOM is kind of the same way. You're going to spend a lot of time thinking it's a strategy game. A lot of people think that's boring. Strategy games aren't for everyone. A lot of people don't want to sit there and think and come up with strategies. They just want to go. That's why
But
people
during
play Call of
XCOM,
Duty.
you're actually controlling
Keep in mind,
your
George is
forces.
still not answering.
You're controlling your forces to kill the aliens.
Yeah, but it's
so
turn-based. It's just like Civ. You still spend a lot of time strategizing.
I think it's a lot more action-packed,
all right,
and you want
That's the
action-packed
purpose of a strategy.
Okay, George, do you have a?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've had it for the past 5 minutes. As soon as Joey said Civ 5, I was like, yeah.
Well, you passed, so I had to move it on. So all right.
I know, but I couldn't remember what I wrote down before.
Okay, go ahead.
Warcraft 3.
Okay, all right. Why?
I'm gonna
You're gonna delay it.
kind
Okay, it's my
of
turn.
no. I'm gonna kind of nip at Joey's heels here for a second. Politics are fucking boring.
Okay.
Warcraft does not. You don't. There is no.
I'll give Warcraft. It did kind of add to the franchise.
I'm still explaining shit. But it skips all over. Like, oh, we gotta.
Well, are you talking both Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne? You counting both of them, or just the original Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos?
If I have to pick a specific one, I'm gonna go.
Well, I
with-
mean, you can combine them.
well, then I'll combine
They're
them.
basically the same game.
Okay. But yeah, I just like how you don't have to make alliances through fucking. It's my turn. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna be like, oh hey, I'm in alliance with Mongol or whatever. Anyway, all you really have to focus on is build your army and go kill stuff.
Okay, well here I have a question because you brought up Warcraft 3. It's really for all of you. Can you do one thing to win? Because in Warcraft 3, you can easily do one thing, and it will almost 90% of the time beat one person.
Yes.
Like, if you rush one unit, you attack them, you can win. Can you do that in XCOM?
No.
you can't.
Civ.
You can't do that in Civ. It doesn't work that way in Civ.
There's multiple ways to win in XCOM. Every enemy is different in every level, so that you're going to have to go at it strategically differently every time. Like, certain guns won't have the same effectiveness against certain types of enemies. You might have to use grenades sometime. You might actually have to use melee for some guys. It's different every level.
In Civilization, you have multiple ways to win. You don't have to win through domination. You can win culturally, you can win scientifically, and you can win in DLC diplomatically.
Well,
I think in previous
Warcraft
installments
is
of the
only
game,
one I ever
Civ 5,
played.
or Civ 4, I mean, and Civ 3, you could also win economically if you want to go back. So you have more than one way to win. And what I like about Civ 5 is that not all of those ways are through violence. You don't have to beat somebody up with your fists. You don't have to throw a grenade. You can win them over through, culture. You can through government policies and wonders and buildings and stuff like that. So, I think that's a game that's so in depth that it just blows your mind.
I think the game also takes a long time. Like,
It can. I mean, you can play it on faster settings and play a game in an hour. It's possible. But I think for the most immersive experience in Civ, it is best to play over a long period of time because then you kind of get everything out of it. But you do have the option to play it at a swifter pace, a much quicker pace.
George, do you have anything else that you can back it up with or defend your point? Because I'm leaning towards one or the other here, but I don't want to discount you if you can come up with something. If you can't, I have a question for you about those two, though.
I mean, honestly, no.
Okay, all right. Which would you rather play, George?
Of theirs?
Civ or XCOM?
Well, I've never heard of XCOM.
Okay, well, Chris Hawk, just brief description. 1 minute.
1 minute. It's I told you, Halo Wars, Warcraft,
Hated it.
Warhammer 40K,
Hate it.
and how do you hate it? You just got the Orcs Codex. You can't tell me you hate it.
That's irrelevant to the conversation.
It's irrelevant. Okay, Fire Emblem, Halo Wars 40K. Basically, mix all that. It's action packed. I'm telling you, like it's a roll of a die, randomness.
Minutes up.
How long does it take to play the game?
A match
To complete a match.
Complete a match. It can take anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes.
Okay, or Civ.
Well, seeing as the only game that Chris Hawk just listed that I actually like was Fire Emblem, I'm going to go with Civ.
Okay, all right.
I think you've played Civ, haven't you, George?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Civ 5. I played Civ Rev.
And
Okay.
just one last question, Joey, Chris Hawk. How easy is it for someone to learn to play the game? Chris Hawk.
It's easy. The tutorial puts you right through it.
Didn't you say it's one of the most difficult games out there? It's incredibly
it ramps
difficult.
up in difficulty after you play the game. I mean,
So it becomes very difficult very fast.
yes, it's a strategic war game. It's not
Okay.
going to be easy.
All right.
Okay, Joey.
I've played Civ for a long time, and the tutorial mode is very descriptive, and they take their time with you, and it's very easy to get into playing the game, I think. You also have a series of difficulty levels, because I think that, younger generations and younger kids, they're not going to really want to get really, really deep into the complexity of Civ 5, and they allow you to play on settings that you don't have to worry about the complexity.
But when I
They
play
have
a game, I want to play it at its
assists
full
and
settings.
things.
I want to play it right out of it. I don't want any,
You're right, and you can.
want
You
any
can
of
open
that.
up Civ, you put it in, you click play now. They have an option, play now. And the first time you click it, they immediately put you into tutorial to teach you how to play the game at a nice pace.
That's great, but when I play a strategy game, I want to be involved. I want to be into the action. I want
agree.
an action-packed strategy
I
game.
agree,
And Civ
but
5 doesn't
I
have
don't-
that. Even with the wars, it's point
I-
click.
I have had
you
some
have nice
very-
little animations. This one is even better. You get to see everything.
I've had some very intense wars, lot that are very strategic. They have a large variety of units, and another thing that Civ 5 does is when you are taking into war, like when you're engaging in war with other civs, you not only have to anticipate like what they're going to do and the strategies that they're doing, and try and come up with a counter strategy, and it does become very strategic, and it gets intense. You take a capital, you lose a capital. Cities go back and forth.
Same thing in XCOM. You're not
But you
only
also have to
playing-
take into consideration the level of technology that each civ you're going against. The better technology usually wins, but sometimes you guys might be at a stalemate. You might have crossbows and the other guy has long swordsmen. You don't have long swordsmen yourself, but you got the crossbows. You have to take into that strategic consideration of different technology levels and things like that. And I think that's a level of depth that I've never really experienced in any other strategy.
Not only in XCOM are you playing as a
This is a good
real-time
beer.
strategy game, you're also playing a game of Earth protection. While not on, like the Earth where you're fighting and shooting, you have to protect the Earth. informs, like, the whole Earth is getting invaded, and you have to play Earth Hot Potato. Do I save San Francisco, or do I save New York? And if I don't save one of them's going to get overrun by aliens, and I could lose that resources for my game. It's so dramatic. This game is dramatic. I never found Civ as dramatic, and I want emotion. I want drama.
I don't
This
think
is the
you
game
gave
that's
Civ
going to
enough
give
of
you
a
all
chance
that.
when you played it, but
Chris Hawk
there
is
is
a pretty
drama.
dramatic
You got to. I mean, you got the same
Civ,
aspect
but I
in
felt it was
Civ.
boring, and
You
I
gotta-
felt it took too long to get to the action. I don't want to have to wait certain time periods to do stuff.
Can I?
I think we just
Right
need a
into the
decision
action
here.
with XCOM.
Otherwise, we're going to
I'm-
be here all night.
I am going to decide. George has 1 point. I think he wants to say something. I don't know.
This is a damn good beer.
All right, well,
Bud Light Lime, bro.
so the 1D. I'm going to decide here. I'm going to get to Chris Hawk.
Hard battle. Had to fight against Civ 5.
I mean, honestly, I've never played XCOM, but I really love Civ. But I felt like Chris Hawk gave the better argument.
Yeah.
All right, going into number 3.
Oh, man.
Best Halo game. And we're going to start off with George. George, BeerMoney.
Halo 2.
All right. Why?
Because, well, there's multiple reasons. First of all,
Here we go.
from a personal level.
We're going to try and speed this up a little bit so everybody can get theirs out before we defend them. So,
All right. So on a personal level, it was the only Halo game that I ever was like, I'm gonna wait until the midnight release. To this day, I remember the date. It was November 11th. I forget the year.
fact check.
Fact checked.
Fact check. On a not so personal level, it did win 4 awards. I don't remember a few of them. I got them written down somewhere, but Lord knows I lost them. Probably in the dryer. But I know it won Most Anticipated Game of the Year, or Most Anticipated Game for, it was either 2003 or 2004. And,
November 9th, 2004 is when it came out.
oh, it was close.
Okay.
2 days off.
All right, well, we're going to move it over here. Chris Hawk.
All right.
That was really close, actually.
The best game in the Halo franchise is easily the first game, and that's Halo 1. Okay, it started it all. It launched the Xbox, all right? And it launched an FPS-loving decade of players. I mean, it became a revolution in how many people wanted to play FPSs now. It introduced a rich story with humanity as the underdog. How many stories do you know have humanity as the underdog in video games, all right? It's a solid campaign, perfect controls and pacing.
There's a lot of video games that have humanity as the underdog. Just
But
saying.
Halo
We're
was
not
one of the
defending
first.
it.
Halo was
Everybody's
one of
giving
the
their
first.
answers.
All right, it introduced the real villain of the Halo
Doesn't
franchise,
XCOM
the
have the
Tenacious
humans as the
Flood.
underdogs?
The Tenacious Flood was the
XCOM
true
is the
villain
underdogs
of the first
humans are the
Halo
underdogs
arc.
in XCOM.
Mel-
Just saying.
It started off
XCOM's older
multiple
than
land.
Halo.
It's a blast at parties. It is the best campaign. It has the best ending. It is better flowing, and no one expected it to be such a hit. It is the best Halo game of all time.
As Sparta!
Humans are also the underdog in Mass Effect. But
That's true. And XCOM.
Halo started it all.
XCOM was before.
Halo
I'll look
started
it
it
up.
all.
Joey, what's your choice?
Fact check.
All right. For me, I think Halo 1 was great. It brought everyone into the franchise. Halo 2 perfected started the multiplayer craze. I wouldn't say perfected it. It started the multiplayer craze. It got the people to play the franchise's multiplayer, because before you were stuck playing LAN. But the game that perfected all that, I think, in my opinion, was Halo Reach. And that multiplayer experience in Halo Reach was unbelievable. It was great.
I got an argument against that.
Yeah, they had the way you customized your Spartan and all the Spartan abilities, the combos you could do with your friends. I think the story was on par with Halo 1 and Halo 2. It was a fantastic story. And to take you out of the Master Chief epic and put you into another Spartan and kind of give you a feel for the world, that was something that, was great to see it from the eyes of another Spartan. And the campaign was really fun. I had a great time playing Reach's campaign. So I think Reach was the game that perfected the Halo franchise. That was when they really, really brought in Forge. Halo 3 kind of had like a sample Forge where you could move stuff around on the maps, but Halo Reach, they really gave you that Forge, and I think that exploded in the community. So for me, it's Halo Reach because it perfected the franchise.
Okay.
Did it perfect the franchise? I think the first game was already perfect, and it just went downhill from there.
I will say, real fast, I did fact check it. December 31st, 1993 was when XCOM came out, so Halo didn't start the human underdog Sorry.
There were games
Well,
that did it before.
Halo perfected it, okay?
You just got fact.
All right.
I got fact checked, okay?
George, you had something?
Yeah. In what Joey was saying. Get over that.
Yeah, you guys.
Maybe I was saving it for later.
Okay.
And now I forgot what I was going to say.
Good. Okay.
Shut up.
Halo 1 is the best Halo game of all time. It's perfect in every way. How many times did we go to each other's house and LAN? We had
Okay, let me stop you
LAN
there for a
parties
second.
specifically for Halo.
Let me stop you there for a second.
Specifically for Halo. To
Once
LAN.
Halo 2 came out, how many times did we not even have to leave our own houses?
Let's talk about the ending
That
of
was
Halo
nice.
2. How lackluster was the ending of Halo 2? It was terrible. And then how many people hated the Arbiter? A lot of people hated the Arbiter.
You know,
No
he
one
grew in
hate-
popularity though, like significantly.
Yeah.
A lot of it went from hating the Arbiter, but then they loved him. The popularity of
that's
him
because Colt
took off.
always wins in the end, all right? But no, the
Like
ending
Fight
of
Club?
Huh?
Like Fight Club?
This is a completely different
XCOM's
story.
a cult game.
All right.
Check that right now.
It's not a cult game.
It is actually.
Halo 2's lackluster
Fact-checking.
ending. It was terrible. How many
can't
people
fact
hated that
check.
ending?
Opinion.
I know I hated it. When I played it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Then why did you get Halo 3?
Actually,
Why did I get Halo 3? Because it's my favorite
Chris
franchise.
Hawk, I'm going to say something real quick. On a side note, when Halo 2 came out, me and Chris Hawk, on the day it came out, we played it. And we played it to the end, and he loved the ending. Like, when we were kids, teenagers, high school, he loved that ending.
Yeah, but now-
He says he hates it now.
Now I'm old enough to
Now he's old
tell
enough
me how stupid
to change
I was.
his opinion.
To change my opinion, all right? Mario was here. He'd get all over that. But it doesn't matter. Mario's not here. All right? It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
Halo
I
1 is
still
the
got
best.
George?
I still got other stuff to say. Halo Reach. When we're talking about multiplayer, Call of Duty.
No, Halo
Yeah.
Reach. Halo didn't start becoming Call of Duty
Controls
until,
were the
Halo 4.
same. I mean, about the only thing that was different was you have an energy shield.
No, it was there was
Yeah,
no
no.
there's no comparison between Call of Duty
Yes,
and Halo
there
Reach.
is.
You want to fact check the controls there for me?
There,
Compare them?
it's not at all the same.
I
The,
just-
the feel was. I think Halo Reach took what Halo had done and perfected it. It was like, all right, let's
Which Call of Duty
Yeah.
we going
let's
off
do
to?
it as best we can. And since then, I think the
Go
Halo
one
games
out at
have
a
gone
time
in a
with Black
completely
Ops.
different direction.
Go off of Black
that I am
Ops.
not. That I'm personally
And it
not.
started with
used to.
Reach. Reach
Well-
is the reason why they started going off in a different direction.
With Reach, though, the only game after that is the Master Chief Collection in Halo 4.
If you want a complete game, multiplayer, story,
Without
it's Halo
internet
1. It's Halo 1.
compatibility. You can't play Halo 1 on the internet.
Doesn't
Could
matter.
you-
So
could
it's not
you-
really
really a
it's one of those
complete
games you
game.
don't need internet to play anymore.
How many?
I'm not gonna
how many-
lie. I'm probably not gonna come over to your house to
I-
LAN party for Halo 1 anymore when I can just play what's the Master Chief Collection.
That
on
or
the
you could
internet
just like you could
on my own couch.
fucking
You know, when you
download
make
it
a
on
game
Xbox
based off a book,
Marketplace.
I think
you should at least get some of it right. The game did not come anywhere near the book, which is canon, by the way. They say so. Microsoft says so. Fact checking. I could be wrong.
What?
he's fact checking
Sorry,
himself.
I was fact checking something
You're
else.
very
if the
slow.
if the Halo books are canon,
Halo books are canon.
yeah, are they canon?
I believe they are canon, but
I think they are as well.
let me ask you this.
I think Reach kind of proved that.
What is the Halo story about?
Also, the control.
Is it about Master Chief or is it about the world?
It's about Master Chief.
Because if it's about Master Chief, isn't Reach not focused on Master Chief?
It's not.
And therefore not canon.
But I think
I believe it is canon, but
Reach is canon.
Reach is canon.
isn't it about his story? Isn't that
The Master Chief Collection is about Master Chief's story. But there's other Halo games out there
So
that
you're
aren't
telling me
about Master
the
Chief.
best game in the franchise in the Halo franchise is a game that's not about Master Chief. That's what you're telling
Yeah,
me.
I really liked experiencing the world and seeing everything else that Bungie created when they came up with Halo Combat Evolved.
I don't know. I feel like you have the
I think-
silent soldier. You have the quirky,
I think
sarcastic
sometimes-
AI. I mean, you just can't. You can't beat it. You just
I mean,
Books are canon.
You had
Books
a
are
whole host
Books are
of characters in Reach.
Okay.
You did. You
But
had
didn't-
Emil.
you met
you
them.
Had George.
You met them, and then they died, and you didn't care about them.
I think that their deaths made you care about them more. to make you start to love someone, then take it away from them. I think that's going to make you care about the characters.
I don't know,
more.
I was kinda
That's why I
happy when
remember
Kat
their
died.
names.
But without the success of Halo 1, you would not have Halo Reach. Without the success of Halo 1, you would not have Halo 2.
I was kind of happy when Kat died.
well? If
I like Cat.
She was a
had
bitch.
if you had to play one right
She was a
now
bitch.
I made my notes.
with your friends, what would it be?
Oh, Halo Reach.
Halo
That'd be
2.
the one that I pick.
We're just gonna pick her own.
Well, I mean, that's the multiplayer experience that I would want to play with you guys.
I'll
Chris
play
Hawk, me
I'll
and
play
you.
campaign with you. That's what I want
Chris
to play
Hawk,
as
me,
campaign.
me and you going armor lock off of each other, the leapfrog tactics. Those were the days. I fucking love that.
Did they put Reach in the Master Chief Collection?
No.
That's because Master Chief's not in Reach. He's only
I'm just
mentioned.
saying they haven't moved it to next gen. Everybody's on
Maybe
next
they
gen right
will.
now. 2 and 1 are next gen.
Maybe they
Or
will.
Current gen. Fact checked you.
Oh.
They're still considered next gen. Thank you very much.
Weird.
That's when you split a game in two with a anti-hero and a hero, it just
Silence.
I just,
falls over the
I just feel like
There's
you
some
split
silent
the game in half.
explicitives there.
You just split the game in half. In Halo 1, which is a perfect campaign, it had some of the best levels. Assault on the Control Room, anyone? One of the most memorable snow levels. Silent Cartographer. Come on, that's when it really started getting good. You're on the beach with your Marine buddies, and then you're in the fray. You just can't beat it.
Well, George, didn't the reason you stayed up, you went to that midnight release, isn't it because of Halo 1? Didn't Halo 1 make you want Halo 2?
No. I wanted Halo 2.
If you had never played Halo 1...
My selling point for Halo 2 was you can dual-wield bullet hoses. Halo 2 was also... Halo 2 was also the creating point for Magnum Man. My current gamer tag.
Well, that sounds like a personal thing there.
I wasn't
I mean,
trying to go for personal.
Aren't opinions personal?
Well, they are.
Yeah, that's
They
all
are.
we're doing
But
here
that's
is
not
opinions.
really...
But I mean, still, nobody... One thing I did notice, none of these two mentioned any awards that their games won.
I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it here.
There are awards won to each, to all of them.
I'm sure they won
The only one I
awards.
remember, I saw 4 of them. The only one I remember
I
was,
think we all
most
know that
anticipated
they
game.
won
Just hit-
awards.
They all did.
Just type into Google Halo 2 awards.
Look at Halo 1 awards while you're at it. Just look at it.
While he's doing that, I'm going to call it.
Okay.
I'm giving it to Chris Hawk.
All right.
It started it. Personally, this is just me. Halo is about Master Chief's story. I love the world. The world's great. But Halo has been about Master Chief.
Yeah,
I think it
next
started
question.
it.
I
All
feel
right.
like you're probably just gonna take every single one.
All right. Next question is what character should be DLC in Smash for the Wii U?
Let's let Chris Hawk go first.
We're starting with Joey. It's determined.
Delay.
Predetermined.
Delay.
Would you really like to delay?
Yeah,
You
let's
can delay
delay.
one person. Is that because you don't have an answer?
I do have an answer.
Well, then give me your answer,
I have
please.
answers. No, I'm gonna delay. I choose to delay today.
It's not an option.
All right.
Answer,
So I'll answer. It took me a long time to think about it, and it was actually a really tough one for me. I think for me in Brawl, I thoroughly enjoyed playing Pokemon Trainer, and I would love to see a return of Ivysaur and maybe Squirtle. I would really love those characters back, and I think that's something that's actually doable, and it's a realistic scenario that Nintendo could do. They could add Ivysaur, bring him back, and Squirtle as well. I mean, they have Charizard in there, and he's pretty much almost the same character. They have a few changes, and I like the changes. I feel like the changes made him his own character, and I really enjoy that, and I thoroughly I love Charizard. He's probably my favorite character that came into the new one. But for me, I would love to see Ivysaur and Squirtle back. On a side note, I did have a runner-up. I thought it would be a really fun and unique experience to play Midna from Twilight Princess. I just think all those shadow abilities would be something that would be really unique and fun.
So you did two. You did two. So you did two.
three.
Your original choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Is
the
it
Pokemon
Trainer?
characters.
I think you should
Or
go-
is it Ivysaur and Squirtle?
Yeah, the Ivysaur and Squirtle, because the way because they brought Charizard, I
Yes.
feel like they could bring those.
So
two
just bring the
in.
whole Pokemon Trainer over, but individually.
Yeah, individually. Maybe one at a time. Do like give a Squirtle and then
I'll
Ivysaur.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Joey did two, right? Joey did two. All right.
It's kind of one. We're going to George next.
I've got 2 in my mind. One of them I'm not really even sure that either of them are Nintendo related.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, they've
My
been
first one-
branching out a little bit.
Yeah. Namco.
Solid Snake.
Capcom.
Snake. Yeah. Capcom.
Let George go.
Konami. Go ahead, George. Sorry.
I would like to see Leon.
Okay. Well, why?
Resident Evil Leon.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil Leon.
That's my favorite Resident
Wesker
Evil
too?
character.
Call him Whisker.
No, not Wesker. Just because zombies, man. He was the I don't know if I can say this word, but I'm going to say it anyway. Badass of the Resident Evil
I feel
series.
Badass though.
I feel like Nintendo would want to shy away from the guns and the gore and the violence that is that. But I mean, they did Snake, so. But I feel like Nintendo would want to shy away from Resident Evil.
Let George do his thing.
This isn't about what Nintendo wants. This is about what George thinks.
It's a Nintendo game, so it really is what they want.
It's a Nintendo game. I'm arguing that the franchise that they want to do. This is an opinion-based thing, and that's my opinion. I think Leon should be a DLC for Smash.
Okay, Chris Hawk.
All right. So Sonic has been in the game for 2 games now, and it feels like he's just shoehorned in, like he's just there. He's been in there for Melee. Was it Melee or was it Brawl? He was in there for Brawl, and now he's in Wii U, and he has no sidekicks or friends or anything. 2-for-1 package deal. Tails and Knuckles. Both classic and well-known characters. You have Tails as the lofty character, sort of like a Kirby character, and then you have Knuckles as the slow, powerful character. You can't go wrong with Tails and Knuckles. They're classic. Give Sonic some characters that he can play with.
I mean, they have. You've got other
You already
developers
have
in
too
there,
many.
though.
You have too many Pokemon. You do not need to have.
But
any more
Pokemon's
Pokemon.
Nintendo. Nintendo's going to mainly stick with their Nintendo characters.
Why
That's
would
what
you
sells
have?
their games.
You're just oversaturating with Pokemon. We already have 20 people from the Mushroom Kingdom. Why would we need 10 more Pokemon from the Pokemon game?
Because Nintendo wants to stick with Nintendo. That's what they're going to go with.
But they got rid of Ivysaur and Squirtle
why do
for a
we
reason.
wanna
They
throw
kept-
a Sega
Charizard is the winner
character
here.
in?
We know that. That's why they got rid of
But
Squirtle and
it's
Ivysaur.
DLC. We're talking about DLC here, and I feel like those 2 characters would be realistic, solid DLCs that wouldn't be difficult for Nintendo to incorporate into their game.
You want
However,
something new.
But
You've
if you're
already had
talking about
Ivysaur and Squirtle. You're getting Tails and Knuckles. Do you know who character's going to play as? He's going to play as Knuckles.
I know who
alright?
he's going to play
hold
as,
on.
but I feel
Hold
like
on, hold on.
Nintendo's going to
Hold on
avoid
one
other
second.
developers. They're not going to want to put too much Sega in there. They don't want to put more Capcom in. They don't want to put more Namco in because they want to put Nintendo in. They want to sell Nintendo. That's why Nintendo's going to go with Nintendo characters.
If you try
That's
to
why-
sell me Nintendo characters for a game that has many other characters other than Nintendo's brand, I wouldn't buy it.
What Nintendo
I feel like it's
No,
a
you
rip
sounded like you had something to say.
I have a
Ivysaur and
clarification.
Squirtle.
Okay, never mind.
New Knuckles or old Knuckles? Sonic Boom or original Knuckles?
Original Knuckles.
Do you think they'd go with that after revamping everything?
Well,
They're pretty
they did
stuck
the-
on beefed up Knuckles.
Sonic Boom's already a game.
Show me the beefed
And
up Knuckles.
they're doing kind of like that Sonic X. That's not the original Sonic that's
It
in.
doesn't matter. Tails and Knuckles. You have Tails' psychic. I can tell you Tails is Smash right now. All the little animals that you save in the Sonic teams, they come and they tear apart the guy. That's awesome.
What is Knuckles Smash?
Knuckles, he gets becomes the Chaos Emeralds, and he uses them, and he becomes Super Knuckles.
Okay, well,
So he's Supersonic.
George, Leon's Smash.
Leon Super Smash?
Smash?
Zombies.
Okay.
Zombies.
How graphic?
No, even better. I'm gonna go with the Chicago typewriter. You just bust that shit out.
Okay. Okay.
Like they beefed up Knuckles.
That's the Knuckles I want. Sonic Boom. That's the Knuckles I want. You
I don't want
beefed
that
up-
Knuckles.
You want him powerful?
You're a
want original
minority here on that. Joey,
Oh
Show me not
man.
beefed up Knuckles.
give me
it's
Ivysaur and Bulbasaur Smash.
All right, it's
Smash.
pretty easy. Ivysaur, you're gonna go with the Solar Beam, big,
Okay.
powerful Solar Beam right across the screen, and I feel like a really fun, like Final Smash for Squirtle would be like a Hydro Pump and just push everyone to one side of the screen.
But that's so
That'd be really
boring. You already had them as Pokemon trainer, and
So is Super Knuckles.
Charizard is easily the most popular of all those 3. Why would you want 2 least popular Pokemon?
I feel like
in
they
that
had
trio?
equal popularity. I mean, if you
No,
if you
there's
just
a
look
reason
around,
why they got rid of them.
ask
you don't want to
people
bring
what
them
their
back.
favorite starter was.
Why would I pay for characters that I had in the last
Everyone
game?
loves their
You're
same
getting new characters.
starters.
You're getting Tails and Knuckles.
But how crazy did people go for Mewtwo?
People went nuts for Mewtwo.
That's because they brought him
That's
back.
because Mewtwo is one of the most popular Pokemon there is.
But so is
or
Squirtle.
not.
Ivysaur, their starter Pokemon from the original.
My ears are ringing.
Are you kidding me? Ivysaur is one of the least picked Pokemon ever. Why would
Colt. Didn't you say Colts win? Ivysaur Colt. That is a huge Colt following. Bulbasaur has a huge
Why would I
Colt.
pay for characters that I can just go
And then
to
you
the
got
last game
Squirtle
play?
and
You're
Charmander.
getting new. You're getting Tails and you're getting Knuckles. People love the Sonic game, and they're just gonna go nuts.
I
when
feel
you
like the
can
only
play
people
as
that love
them.
Sonic games anymore are
Leon.
children.
Children play Nintendo games.
All right, well, let me ask you this,
But we're adults.
Chris Hawk. If you had to download one of the other 2 characters, either Leon or a package Pokemon trainer new character deal is what we're going with here.
Okay.
Who would you download?
You gotta go with Leon. If Nintendo could do that, then it means they would do anything.
If Nintendo could do that, okay, all right. George, Tails and Knuckles. Ivysaur or Bulbasaur? Or Ivysaur and...
You can't
Squirtle,
really ask
sorry.
me because I don't like Pokemon and I never really liked Sonic.
If you had to pick one.
You're still gonna play as Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really even.
You wouldn't download either of them.
No.
Save your money for
Okay.
the.
I played Donkey
Joey.
Kong and
If I had
Kirby.
it
That's
down.
all I made.
Tails and Knuckles or Leon?
You know what? Leon is my absolute favorite character in Resident Evil, and there's nothing like kicking somebody in the face as Leon. Like, it's just cool. That's what I'm gonna download.
Okay.
Out of the two of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to give it to Joey. And we'll tell you why.
Okay.
Leon, I don't believe is feasible for Nintendo. I don't think they could make him what everybody wants.
My other option was Bomberman.
I expect a lot out of him.
Bomberman
You should do
could have been a
Bomberman.
good. That would have been a good choice.
That'd
You
have
should have
been
defended.
But the thing is, I wouldn't have.
I would argue that
couldn't
for
have-
you.
I
The
couldn't
Bomberman's
really
amazing.
have argued that because I never really played the Bomberman series. I would just know of him.
And the thing with Tails and Knuckles is, first of all, you got Sonic Boom Knuckles. Okay, nobody likes Sonic Boom Knuckles.
Is Sonic Boom Knuckles the Wii U Knuckles?
That's
I mean,
that's
Sonic Boom.
that's going forward
Sonic
Knuckles.
Boom.
That's who he is.
Buff Knuckles. Dude, Knuckles got swole.
What's wrong with Buff Knuckles? Everyone
Sonic
wants to
Boom.
beef up.
Buff Knuckles.
It's been
Games,
called.
it's all
You don't need to
It's all
defend
about
it.
games.
I just want you to think
Buff
of that from an
Knuckles is-
anatomical point of
Buff
view.
Knuckles
Think
is
about
kind of a
buff
jerk, so-
Knuckles on your hand. It's just gross.
Buff Knuckles is kind of a jerk.
For the record, we're going to ask the fact checker who he would download.
Who would you
Who-
download? Fat
Who would I download? I would probably download Tails and Knuckles. Not gonna lie.
Fact checker. I love this guy.
You're not on the panel. I'm sorry.
Next week.
All right, we're going to go with the next question. Best twist in a video game.
Oh, my
We're
goodness.
starting off with Chris Hawk.
All right.
Brief, please,
Brief. All right.
before we get to other
Gonna
people.
read off of IGN.
It's going to be. It's actually one word, and it's Bioshock.
The first one.
The first one.
Okay.
Very first one.
Okay.
Let me just say. when I
Isn't
played it-
Bioshock 2 words?
Let me.
It's one word.
It's actually
One word in the game.
It's actually,
That's a
wait,
compound
It's actually one word. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
All right.
The developers took two words and
And made it
put,
one, yes.
Yeah, okay.
The twist that you are the bioengineered son of Andrew Ryan that you found out at the middle of the game, and also that Fontaine is not only a bad guy, but he is a terrorist. Two twists in one. Two twists in one happens at the same time, and you end up killing your father because of Fontaine. How crazy is that fucking shit? All right, I'm done. Drop the mic.
I
Joey.
feel like Bioshock didn't give me enough cinematic experience.
This
I didn't
is-
pay
this
much
is
attention to the story. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think that twist. When I played it, the twist didn't really affect me. I was just like, okay, another part of the
Go ahead,
story.
say
Moving on.
Kotar.
How do
Go
I
ahead.
kill the next big
Go ahead,
daddy?
say Kotar.
Joey.
Go ahead, say Kotar.
I'm going to say it.
Play
For
the
me,
judge. Play the judge.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. When you find out you're Revan, there are a few games that make me drop my jaw to the floor, get up, and leave the room and tell everyone in my house what just happened. So I hope you're in my house and you weren't playing that game and you hadn't gotten that point.
You're
because
telling me-
I'm telling everybody because that was amazing.
You telling me you didn't see all the subtle hints the entire game?
I honestly really I did it because I didn't know it was coming.
But
now,
really,
when you
isn't
go
that
back,
big of a deal, though? If
when you go back and play it again, because I've played it again and again and again and
Can
again.
confirm he has played it this many times.
I have. I've played it a
It's been
lot
fact checked.
because that game blew my mind. That twist, I didn't see it coming the first time. I'm not gonna lie, and like I said, my jaw dropped. I left the room. I had no idea. I thought I was just some guy.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there, George.
Spiral attack. Mega Man, tornado attack. That's a twist.
You could interpret it that way.
I guess.
I mean,
It just says twist.
Best video game twist? Just Dance.
Do you have
Do the
something?
twist.
Or would you like to defend one of the other two? If you don't have one.
this is the one that I was hung up on when I was doing research and all that crap. I'm gonna defend Joey.
Okay. Just why?
Well, first of all, I never really played it. I only watched Sean play it
Okay.
because
That's what Sean did.
Yeah.
Sean was like, "Hey, come over to my house.
Actually,
watch
I was
me
at-
play a one-player game."
actually I was at the midnight release for Bioshock.
Stay in Indiana, Sean.
I was
I really
there.
hope he doesn't listen to this.
I hope he does.
Oh God!
Yes, please do stay in Indiana.
All right. I'm just gonna go.
Hold
ahead.
on, hold
I'll give you
on,
a hug
hold
if you
on.
come
I'm
back.
not done with my
Come out fast.
explanation.
Come on.
Damn it.
I'll give him a hug if he comes back. I will.
It seems like you don't have
My
enough to defend it.
explanation is I haven't played Bioshock. I have played KOTOR. I love that game.
Okay, Joey said that it wasn't cinematic enough. When you find out you are Revan, it's text-based. All right? You find out you are Revan while reading text.
You
find out you're a terrorist and that you're going to kill your father.
You're not just reading text.
It's a cut scene. So it actually happens in front of you, and it's jaw-dropping. Reading something is not jaw-dropping to me. I like to see it happen, all right?
I think... Have you played KOTOR?
I have played KOTOR.
You're not just reading. The guy's talking, they show his face.
Yeah, but it says
and
you
the
are
people
Revan.
are around there. There's music. It's not just text.
I feel like it doesn't hold up with the old graphics.
I can still hear that perfectly.
With the twist.
Would you kind?
I feel like
Sometimes
it is
I think
a better... It is a better
going
twist.
back, and nostalgia is a huge part of it. You know, that the time period they did what they could with what they had, and they did a fantastic job of it.
When I replayed it,
and there's more than just
ago.
text. I'm sorry, but it's not just text, Chris Hawk.
To me, it was just text, and I played it, and it was great.
And I think you missed a large portion of the game.
Large portion. I played
the voice acting, but if you think it was just text,
I actually do have my own answer.
It's
Dragon Age Origins.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disqualify you, George, because I gotta call this soon. We got 2 more questions. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you both. If I read this on the internet, would it ruin the game?
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Let me also ask you this. Did anything in any gameplay trailers hint at this?
No.
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Personally, did you ever see the other one coming? Did you ever see the Revan twist?
No.
Did you ever see the Bioshock twist?
I don't know. I really wasn't
Did
paying
you even
much
pay attention to the game?
I didn't pay attention to the story that
I-
much.
I-
I'm not
I think
gonna
you
lie,
have to.
because I feel like it was just over Vox while you're still playing. I'm trying to kill what's in front of me. I'm not really listening to what the guy's saying. They didn't stop me and say, "All right, we're going to explain the story."
I feel
to
like
you."
it's a more
You're
immersive
just
game.
I was
It's
just
a more
going.
immersive game.
I
And
don't feel like it is at
It
all.
was a more immersive game.
I feel like there's a lack of immersion with the story.
Did you
there.
even play the same game I played?
I did. play
Bioshock was one of my favorite games of all time.
Look,
and I
Bioshock.
Look,
Bioshock.
Whoa, I don't even know what game
And
that
I love
is.
KOTOR, but Bioshock just has the better gameplay. Did I say Bioshock?
Bioshock is like Radio Shack.
I think he's
but
thinking
it's like,
about
it's for like
the
drugs.
Biodome movie.
Being able to shoot and use plasmas at the same time is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk
How
about
many-
features all day.
How many games can we do? We have magical powers and we shoot guns. Mass Effect, Biotics, guns.
I mean, the Force is like
I
magic.
mean,
Shadowrun.
You had
Shadowrun.
You could.
We got
hey,
KOTOR. I'm gonna call it here.
you could use the Force
it's
and have
not
a
canon
gun.
Anymore.
The
KOTOR's not
decision
canon
has been
anymore.
made.
You could
It's
use
not
the
canon
Force and have
anymore.
a gun.
Bioshock is still canon.
To its-
All
It's
three
because
games.
Bioshock
own
game is
trilogy.
the only
Not
thing in
canon
existence
anymore.
of Bioshock.
To its
It's
own.
not canon anymore,
It's
and it
canon
doesn't
to
matter.
its own trilogy.
Darth Raven-
Did you know?
Darth Raven doesn't matter anymore.
Wait.
He's not canon.
Did you know?
So it doesn't matter
Oh,
if it's
come
Star
on,
Wars
man.
universe.
Look,
I'm gonna call it here. I'm
now
giving
you're
it to
gonna
Joey.
say canon.
Continuity is not really an argument when they're still taking things from the extended universe and just revamping them, such as the cross lightsaber. So I'm giving it to Joey.
Fucking tough.
The,
Jesus,
the
not
argument
Sabo.
was, what's the best twist, not the better game.
Yes.
Moving on, we
All
got what movie would make a good RPG. We're gonna go quick sells here. I want to move on to the last question. So George, what movie? Sell it to me.
Braveheart.
Yeah, that's okay. What kind of RPG?
Skyrim style.
Okay.
Saw it coming.
Okay.
I would
Make your own Scotsman or make your own Englishman. It don't matter.
I would play that.
Whatever you start, whatever kingdom you start with, depends on how the game starts for you and how the game progresses for you.
It's like a Dragon
Okay.
Age Origins concept.
Does it play out kind of the
that.
same way as the movie?
Kind of,
Is there-
but I would like this. I would like to kind of instead of like be like if you're English, like well, basically whatever decisions you make in game affect the game's ending.
Okay. All right. Chris Hawk.
All right, easy. This is easy. One of
Short
my-
description, please.
Short description. Harry Potter. You get sorted into Hogwarts houses through an aptitude personality test. Each house will give you bonuses towards certain classes. Many classes you can be proficient in potions, charms, defense against the dark arts, historian, transfiguration, herbology, alchemy, divination, care, magical
Quick.
creatures, dragon tamer.
Take a
Quidditch,
breath.
Bloomfriam. Hogwarts is a discoverable giant school for you to roam. You gotta watch out for Fitcher Peeves, save the house elves, do fetch quests for house ghosts, enter the Triwizard Tournament, recreate the best years of Hogwarts of Harry Potter 1 through 7.
What kind of RPG?
It'd be like a Skyrim-based magic-only RPG.
I was thinking more like a World of Warcraft ripoff.
That's what it sounded like.
That's
yeah.
really what it sounded like.
But
Maybe,
in response to your Hogwarts is a massive school to in Braveheart, you got the entire UK to.
Yeah, but in the entire UK, it's all trees, mountains, and rivers. There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing great about that.
Joey.
All right, for me, it was a difficult choice because there's a lot of movies out there already have games. Harry Potter has a ton of games based on the movies already.
But they all suck.
So I tried to go with something that didn't have a lot of stuff, and I'm a big fan of sci-fi. So for me, it was Starship Troopers. I feel like Starship Troopers would make a very fantastic sort of kind of like Destiny-esque.
Wait, you've already made that. It's called Mass Effect.
No,
I was thinking
Starship
the
Troopers
same
is a lot
exact-
different
Weren't you
than
thinking the
Mass
same
Effect.
thing, dude? Starship Troopers has already been done.
No. Well, yeah, but it hasn't been done as Starship Troopers. Just like I'm sure there are games that are a lot like what your envisionment for Harry Potter is
I
that
believe
have already
in,
been done.
Not just
I'm gonna
with
ask-
magic only as the factor of the game.
There's got to be something else.
So wait, how many
telling
classes
you.
are going to be in your game?
There's plenty. I mean,
Nick?
like I said, you can go with the
Fact checker?
Destiny-esque. You got all kinds
Is there
of
already a
classes
game
you
for
could do.
Starship Troopers out there?
I feel like you got that shooter aspect is just now being touched with RPG elements nowadays.
Used to be an RPG.
So you can have like medics, you can have assault classes that
Well,
are
I mean,
that play
any
as like
game
tanks,
based on-
have heavy
Oh,
armor
also,
and carry
it's
heavier
RPG,
weapons. You could have recon-esque classes that play like stealth assassins, snipers, melee guys. You can have support classes that build mechs because they have those in Starship Troopers. Jetpacks and things like that. I
what
feel
would
like
you fight?
I will say,
the bug aliens, and there are also other factions if you read the novels.
there is a
and stuff.
Starship Troopers game, but it is a first-person shooter. It says nowhere RPG. It's just single-player, multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Based on that fact, didn't you just recently say that there was that you were trying to go with an answer that hasn't an answer
That didn't
on a
have-
movie?
That's irrelevant
that
to the
has-
argument.
I said it didn't have a lot going off of it.
Well,
People will love this Harry Potter game.
Let me ask you, Prasad. What's the plot for somebody who's not Harry Potter? What do we do?
You get to create your own wizard.
Well, where's the end game? If there is no end game, it sounds like an MMO. That's what I think we're going off of here. If there's no like final boss, you're going through the whole game all 7 years. What?
Well, you could definitely take the place of Harry Potter, or you can create your own character that has an important part in the Wizarding War that's happening at the time during Harry Potter,
Okay.
which
Okay.
it takes place.
George. Anything.
Same question.
Anything else?
I would also like to throw in, instead of just making it 2 allegiances, make it 3. Throw Ireland in there. Play as Stephen.
I would play Steven.
Okay.
Stephen was a badass.
Okay.
But no, aside from that,
I want to play as my own Steven.
I think
not these Steven.
as far as like bosses go, you can fight like the end boss, Edward Longshanks. You
Okay.
fight the King of England, or if you're coming from England, you fight William Wallace. He'll probably kick your ass, but you'll still fight him.
Oh, okay. He's difficult. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying both of them will be difficult.
Why would he be the main boss when he's trying to unite lands?
I said it's a Skyrim base. You choose England or Scotland.
Yeah.
You were fighting against the other side.
Scotland fighting for freedom, England fighting to unite.
End boss, Starship Troopers.
I mean, it's pretty easy. You could have some massive raids on some of the giant insects. I feel like the multiplayer would be badass, and it would excel in a first-person or third-person shooter environment. There are other factions within the Starship Troopers universe so you won't just fight bugs the whole time. You'll fight people and things like that. So, but I think the end boss is definitely going to be a giant queen bug that just creates the little bugs, and you have to team up with your friends to do it.
It's not
and
very
you
memorable.
can't
It's just
do
a
it.
giant bug. Who cares about a giant
Here's
bug
another
when
thing
you
I
can
wanna
fight against
say.
the best final boss in the game, Voldemort?
Another
You get to
thing,
have a wizard duel with Voldemort.
and get killed. But
Hold
on.
Final bug's called the queen.
Another thing-
If you don't kill the queen, everybody dies.
Another thing against Starship Troopers, Earth Defense Force.
Oh,
You fight giant bugs in that game,
But it's not an RPG.
so
It's not an RPG.
it borderline.
There's a lot of games where you fight giant bugs.
I feel
but
like
they're not
one
RPGs.
of the main aspects here is
I feel like
you
I
want
would
a
be playing
wizard
Earth
duel,
Defense Force.
you can do that in this RPG.
Okay.
Can you shoot a massive fireball at people?
Of course you can.
No, because that never happens in the Harry Potter universe.
There's other spells that you don't see in the Harry Potter universe in the books that there are. All right?
There's only one thing that actually kills people. There's only one curse.
All right. I'm gonna tell you. I'm leaning towards Braveheart or Harry Potter here.
Okay.
Give me a 30-second trailer. Chris Hawk, go.
All right, boom. You got a cutscene of the Hogwarts castle inside. You're doing crazy stuff. You're on a broomstick. You're up in the air. You're catching the snitch. You win the house cup for Gryffindor. Maybe you weren't in Gryffindor. Maybe you're in Slytherin.
Gryffindor.
You're in the potions class. You're making some potions. Maybe the luck vial. Maybe you can be lucky for an entire day. Or you're in a battle with Voldemort. Boom. Expelliarmus, Avada Kedavra. It's very stressful. It's dramatic. It's emotional. It's not Harry Potter. It's you.
Chris Hawks likes his players that have heart attacks.
Heart attacks, indeed.
Okay.
This is
George. 30-second trailer, and then I'll deliberate and decide.
Bagpipe music.
Okay. Oh, Danny Boy.
The opening.
Love it already.
Into a field. You got Longshanks, sword and shield. He's bleeding out the eye. Camera pans over. You got Braveheart. He's got his great sword.
I'm digging this.
They charge at each other. Braveheart.
That's it.
RPG.
But you only can be two things in this game. You can be an archer, you can be a swordsman.
Hey, he threw in the Irish guys.
Oh, come on. This doesn't seem like there's a lot of customization
No,
with this game.
there is customization.
Dude, all the different weapons and
You choose
medieval
Scott.
times,
That's
bows
all
and
you can
swords
do.
and axes?
Hold on. Let me.
There's so many more different spells you can
I would
do.
play the Braveheart game.
Can I?
Let me
say something.
George, defend the customization. I'll decide.
All right, customization. You choose Scotland. You got a choice. You can use an axe,
Boom!
little hand axe.
That's what I'm picking.
You can use blade and shield.
I like
You
that
can use a one-hander and a shield. You can use a buckler and a two-hander.
I feel like you're describing Skyrim.
You can
though.
use a flail.
No, I haven't. It's very few things. I mean,
So you're saying different weapons, different.
Yeah,
Class.
and
There's
there
different
will
stats
be
and everything, I assume.
there will be stats that will base off of each one. You can be an
Okay.
archer. You could be a siege engine operator if you want.
that's cool.
I don't know why you would do that, but
That sounds
I'm
like
gonna
a
call it
horrible
here.
idea.
I'm gonna call it here. I'm
I
giving it
would
to
do
George.
that.
All right.
That's I'm gonna siege engine operator. I'm doing it.
All right.
Or
Last question, then we'll go into speed round, see where we're at. Best game slated for release in 2015. Joey Hill is first.
Oh my god.
All right, it took me a long time, and you really have to you do have to go and look up what's coming out because stuff like you want Mass Effect 3, that's not coming out in 2015. I want that.
Mass Effect 4, but yeah.
Mass Effect 4, but I'm sorry, discombobulated from
It's fine.
the
Continue.
Braveheart commercial.
That's
It
what
was
sold it.
amazing. No. Anyways, I had to look up what was coming out in 2015, or supposedly slated to come out in 2015. And for me, brings me back to a game that I played as a kid, and I played it again and again and again. And if I still had the capabilities right now, I would play it again tomorrow morning. Star Wars Battlefront. I want to play Star Wars Battlefront so bad. I want to play it again. I want to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 right now. Because I love that game. I just happened to trade in my 360 to get an Xbox One.
All right, Chris Hawk.
I would
All
buy
right.
360 for
I'm gonna go with one of the best platformers of 2013. That has its own sequel, and it's gonna be Rise of the Tomb Raider. It has its titular character, Laura Croft. She started off as a naive college graduate that's out doing her thing, looking for artifacts. And then boom, watercraft. She crashes she crashes an island, and then she makes the struggle advancement towards Lara Croft Tomb Raider that we all know and love. This is the origin story. There's nothing better than an origin story. People love seeing how people get to where they are, and this is just she's continuing on her character. When we left her, she was broken. She was in trauma, and now we get to see her rebuild herself, rebuild back her life as she goes through the tombs to get her name, the Tomb Raider. You just can't beat that. This game made me love platformers, and I didn't love platformers before. They didn't interest me. This game was easy to play. It was fun. It was intense. It was just the best game 2013 for me, and it came out of left field, and I feel like this game is just going to knock it out of the park again. It's made by the same people, and it just can't get any better than that.
There's no such thing
George.
as brief with him. Honestly, I came up with this answer like 10 minutes before y'all got here.
Okay.
Only because a trailer for it came out. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of it is, but it's zombies. There's zombies in it. I think it's like
Sing
In
a
Light.
paddle,
Can you
George.
look Dying Light? Thank you.
Just came out
That's out though.
Just came out how long
anticipating it,
ago?
I have it.
like a few days ago.
Yeah, so it still came out in 15.
Yeah, but I'm not anticipating it. I have it.
It's best game.
You have it?
In slated for release in 2015.
Oh, you're right.
You have
So
to-
as soon as it turned one,
Joey, you have
No,
to-
no, but I could have it.
Save personal conversations.
No, just.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, but I know people
Why?
that have it, but I could buy it tomorrow.
because
I could buy it when we're done here.
since Left 4
I
Dead, the
could buy it
first
right
one,
now, I think.
I haven't seen a
On Target.com.
zombie-based video game that actually caught my interest so much that I said, I have to have this game. That and one of the things in the trailer looked like you were fighting Hellgast.
How is this different than any other zombie game? Okay.
You grab a melee weapon, you start bashing zombies in.
Okay. Console exclusivity.
It's only on Xbox 361.
Okay. Battlefront, do we know?
Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything about it, but
I'm
the
pretty
original,
sure you'd probably
the
be able to
original
get it on
Battlefronts were
everything.
on all systems, and I wouldn't expect anything less from the up and coming one. So
So Microsoft paid an exclusive big amount of money for Rise of Tomb Raider to be on the Xbox One first, because they know it's going to do well. It's going to be the greatest game of 2015, and they just know they're going to knock it out of the park. Why would Microsoft spend so much money on a game that they knew would be great? Because they know it's going to be great.
I feel like
risk,
the
no
limited
reward.
availability is going to hit it, though.
No, not at all.
It's going to hit it. Unlike Star Wars
I would say
Battlefront,
almost every single person's going to have this game on the Xbox
I
One.
think every single person's going to want to play Star Wars Battlefront
But
because
why hasn't
ever
it been
since
in-
it came out in 2004,
But it hasn't
I
been-
haven't stopped playing it.
But
I
it's been in
love that game, and lots of people love it.
But
George,
it's been
did
in
you like Star Wars
developmental
Battlefront?
hell for so many years. I just feel like they're going to drop the ball with it.
No, I feel like as long as you just follow the formula put out by the first two games, you really can't go wrong. You have to be a moron to screw that up. Like I said, as long as they follow that formula, they're good. They're
But
gold.
it's a multiplayer game. There's no really story to it.
There actually was a story to it.
great story in Tomb Raider. You have
but
a
you
great
don't.
sto-
But you don't have any multiplayer in Tomb Raider.
Actually, you do.
no, you don't.
Tomb Raider 2013
The original
had,
one did have multiplayer.
The original, yeah,
And-
the original.
No.
No problem.
2013 had multiplayer.
That was
This
not
one,
multiplayer.
It
What
did
did you?
have multiplayer.
What'd you
Yes.
do in the multiplayer?
you played as a character and you could shoot arrows. You could
Yeah.
shoot. You could do everything Laura
got,
could
like,
do.
tree
I don't feel
Guns.
like I'd want to do that.
Well, let me ask you this, Chrysalis. Once you beat the story in Tomb Raider, what's the replayability? Because we know Battlefront's replayability.
Yes.
I've played.
What about Tomb
Battlefront
Raider?
for years.
Once I beat the story, am I going to play it again?
I beat.
You want to. Maybe there's going to be things you missed in the game. There could be hints and subtle hints to the next game that can come out.
But the game
and
doesn't
you-
have any
You can play the
incentive.
game on a harder difficulty.
You only
Make
play
better
it again
challenge.
Honestly,
if you
once
wanna
I
play
beat a
it.
game
I just
like
feel like
that, I
you're
would,
going to want
you
a
know.
game with a story.
They don't give
And a
you a real
multiplayer,
incentive to
then
play it a
this
second
game
time.
One person at a
Star
time.
Wars Battlefront is a multiplayer-focused video game. I don't want a multiplayer-focused video game. I can just play Evolve all day or something like that. You want a game with a story.
But
You want a
Battlefront
game-
has a story, and
Really?
the story was fantastic.
What's the story?
You played as a member of the 501st, and you got to go through all the battles.
Is that
with all
true?
the clone troopers.
Is that true?
Fact check.
Fact check that shit.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It's
the
a pretty
story. You played as a
widely
member
known
of the 501st.
You
and
played as the leader of the 501st,
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't know about the
fact check
leader,
myself
but
on that part, but
you did, and you followed
played
the Empire around
and
throughout
he's
its
our fact
history,
checker.
and you got to go through all the historic battles
did-
in Star
I
Wars.
can
It was a
confirm you
fantastic
did
story.
play as the
And
501st.
in Battlefront 2, they introduced, allowed you to play characters like Darth Vader and Boba Fett and things like that.
I don't
Luke
know.
Skywalker.
I'd rather play a game that challenged me. And Tomb Raider,
I feel like
I'd rather fucking
you're
kill
gonna have
zombies.
puzzles and stuff that's going to challenge you. And
I
I
feel like
love puzzles.
Battlefront
it's gonna be a
challenged
platform
me.
game that's going to test my reflexes. It's going to do everything for me. While Battlefront may test my reflexes a little bit, not as much as Tomb Raider.
I'll give you this, Chris Hawk. You talk higher than me. You do talk louder than me. But I feel like Star Wars
I can talk real loud too.
has replayability. It has a story. The multiplayer is fantastic. You're going to want to play it again and again. I still
Are we going
play
to want
it.
to play it again? Because every multiplayer game that
More
has
than
come out,
10
we
years
don't.
later, I still play it.
It's because new stuff is
You
coming
guys
out that
might
caught
not,
our
but I
interest
love
even
that
more.
game, and there are still people that play it. I know people who are like, man, I really wish the online servers didn't go down for that because it was great.
Its story doesn't interest me. 'Cause
And it
already-
was challenging.
its story
I didn't
does
play on
not
anything
interest
less than
me
the hardest
because
difficult.
I already know what's going to happen, and I already know what's going to happen in the Star Wars Battlefront game. With this game, you don't know. The unknown is so
Hey.
much more greater.
How do you know what's going to happen? in
Because
Star
you've
Wars
seen
Battlefront?
Clone Wars, you've seen the Battle of the 501st. You see what happens to Cody and them. You
But
see
how do you know
everything.
they're not going to tell the story of
Are
an
you kidding me? It
individual?
was 125 episodes of just the Clone Wars. I think you know what's going to happen, or you have a faint idea of what's going to happen. And this, you do not know, and that's the best.
Simmer
part.
down,
I
Chris
feel
Hawk,
like
simmer
that's a
down.
loaded question or
Simmer
loaded
down,
answer
Joey.
because
Answer
you
how?
don't
I've got
you
fact
don't
check
know
for,
what they're going to do with the campaign in Star Wars Battlefront yet.
Got fact
You don't
check.
know what character they're going to follow.
We've got
fact
fact
checker.
check.
Who's experienced
We
it?
got
Fact checker is speaking.
as far as the Rise of the Tomb Raider plot goes,
I didn't
The
know there was
plot is
multiplayer.
based off of. It's based off of a novel called Tomb Raider: The 10,000 Immortals, authored by Dan Abnett.
Man, I wish I
and
had
Nick
read that
Vincent.
before this.
It's the continuation of the first game. That's what it's about.
It's.
Are you sure? Because I looked at it too. If you go to the Xbox website, and it will tell you.
It is a continuation of the next game, but the plot is based around.
So you mean I can
So I can-
avoid?
I can
hold
go
on,
across
I can
who was
avoid
trying to
the
save
frustrations
his
that
best friend.
usually come with platformers, and just read the frickin' book to see what happens.
All right. Well, I'm about to call it, George. I'm gonna give you anything with Dying Light besides zombies. You saw the trailer. You wanted to play it.
George, you should just say zombies.
I
You
saw
might
the
win.
trailer. I didn't want to play it.
Shut up.
Why is both of these games I won? Why do I want Dying Light? I mean, I saw the trailer. It didn't really interest me. It looked like another zombie game.
Yes, it does look like another zombie game, but the thing that drew me in was the frickin' graphics. That game looks absolutely gorgeous. It might be true that I've only played a small handful of games for the Xbox One, but the graphics that I saw in the trailer for Dying Light look like the best graphics I have ever seen.
Graphics don't make the game though.
All right. Well, I'm gonna call it. Do you have any other facts?
No,
Okay. All right. We'll call it here.
just mouthing my own opinion.
Giving it to Joey.
Of course.
Man, who doesn't want to play Battlefront? Chris Hawk, honestly, rivalries
choice, I'd
aside,
rather play.
attempting to win, do you want to play Battlefront?
Of course, I want to play Battlefront. I want to play
Fucking
Rise of
amazing.
Tomb Raider more.
All right. So we're gonna go in our speed round here. It's top two. We have a two-way tie for second place between Chris Hawk and George. So I'm gonna give you a series of. Well, I'm just gonna give you one question.
All right.
Whoever gets it, moving on to the speed round. You have to let me finish before you answer.
All right. If we both get different answers, do we have to explain ourselves?
Yes, but Skyrim or Oblivion.
Skyrim.
That was close.
They're both great.
Fact checker, you have any? Who did first there?
It sounded about the same.
It did sound about the
I
same.
believe it was the same. Yes.
All right. Fact checker, give him an or question. He has to finish.
A lore question.
An or question.
Or.
Either or.
All right.
I'll do an
Sonic,
or. Can I do an or question?
Sonic, or Mega Man.
Sonic.
You guys can't say the same thing at the same time. That's how you're going to screw this up.
Me and George, man.
You have to bring one person into battle. Garrus or Varric.
Barrack.
Garrus.
You may as well go with Garrus because
Might as well.
Why?
he's
Because
amazing.
he's the best sniper in the galaxy. And if I want someone protecting my back, it's going to be Garrus.
Okay.
Didn't Shepard say that?
Well, with Varric, fucking can go invisible, dude. So I'm going based off of Inquisition, so. Varric, go invisible and drop a bunch of caltrops all over you.
There's no better...
Dude comes up to you. Dude comes up trying to
I mean,
find you.
personally, I'm
Boom.
going with
He's
Garrus.
taking damage, and he's slow.
All right. Best buddy cop moment in any game I've ever played, Garrus and Shepard.
Which
Best
conveniently isn't really a cop game.
Best friendship I've ever seen in a video game.
All right. I'm gonna give it to Chris Hawk here.
Oh,
Garrus.
I peed a little.
Good game, George.
Garrus has it. The thing with Varric is he's only Hawk's friend.
Oh, that's right.
Garrus, he'll support you if you're his squad. Varric doesn't really care about you if you're not Hawk. He does, but he doesn't.
You
I don't
even
know.
give-
He cares
Is he
about
in
the
a-
Inquisitor.
Guess what, guys?
Is he Inquisition?
This doesn't matter.
Does he care about the
guys,
Inquisitor?
Guys,
Yes.
you can
He
bang.
does to an extent. He will
Would he
leave.
sell the
He will
Inquisitor out?
leave if you kill Hawk and you don't play it right.
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
really?
It doesn't matter because, guys, if you're a femshep, you can bang Garrus, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's irrelevant. All right, Joey Hill, Chris Hawk, you're both tied.
All right.
Oh boy.
Fact checker, I'm gonna need you to come up with 2 questions. Work on it because I use my questions to settle that tie.
Okay. 2 questions.
All right, Joey Hill, Chris Hawk,
All right.
Left 4 Dead or Dead Island.
Left 4 Dead.
Chris Hawk is it. Best console controller: Dreamcast, Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64. Oh, shit. Nintendo 64.
Giving it to Joey Hill.
Oh, no.
TV in it.
The 64
Had the worst-
controller
is
was
the
so
worst.
annoying.
I can't.
I didn't like
It
it.
broke all the time. It was cool. It broke all the time. World of Warcraft or League of Legends?
World of
Leagues.
Warcraft.
Why?
I like Leagues better. It's easier to pick up and put down. You don't have to dedicate too much time to it. You can if you want, but like I said, it's easy to pick up, put down, and
Tell that to
replay
the
it.
Asians.
It's made that way. World of Warcraft is more customization. If you want to play a game that can do anything, you're looking at World of Warcraft.
How many champions can you play in leagues? Fact check that. Talk about customization.
It's over 100.
And how
It
many
is
ways
over 100.
can you build those champions?
Yes, there's
If you're
item
not paying
builds.
too much attention to
There's
the
item builds and there's also runes and masteries.
yeah, runes masteries.
How about
item
how about
builds.
going on raids with 25 people? How blast is that when you can talk to each other all at the same time?
Yeah.
That's better. There's no teamwork involved in League of Legends.
That's all it is. It's a team game.
Really?
If you want to win, you have to play as a team.
All I hear you guys complain about is there's no teamwork. And
Maybe
LoL-
you should give it a chance.
And in World of Warcraft,
it's all teamwork.
I heard it's all
teamwork.
The game is about.
You can't win without teamwork.
World
You
of
can be the best
Warcraft
player
is
in the
all
game, but if
about
your team
teamwork.
sucks,
I'm giving it to Joey.
What did I say?
All right. This comes straight from all these speed round questions came from Mario, by the way.
I know.
Pizza or Italian sub?
pizza.
Chris Hawk said it first.
Ah, damn it. Cheating, Chris Hawk.
It's easy. Come on.
All right. You're both still tied. We have three questions.
All right.
Can I try to steal a point?
No, I'm sorry. Eliminated third place. BioShock, BioShock Infinite.
BioShock.
Infinite.
Why? Why Infinite?
I played it recently. I really enjoyed it. I liked the change of atmosphere, and I enjoyed the story thoroughly. I'd never really enjoyed escort missions until BioShock Infinite.
Why BioShock?
It was original. It started it all. It had the best gameplay, the best twist, and it was just a darker game. When you want to play a game that's dark, you're talking about BioShock. I felt that BioShock Infinite wasn't that dark.
Just ask him.
Okay.
All right. I'm giving it to Chris Hawk. BioShock is the original.
Get
Yeah,
on your
just,
originals.
All right.
Fact check.
Oh God, Nick Kanoki's questions.
Best comic book video game character: Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman.
I'm surprised you didn't say
I heard
Spider-Man,
Joey first. I'm
dude.
giving
Alright.
it to Joey.
Spider-Man has only one good game.
You're tied. This is the
video
last
games,
question.
yeah, I got
Oh
you.
God.
Up to the fact checker.
Best game fuel: Doritos or Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew.
Doritos.
Chris Hawk wins.
Good game, Joey. No.
It was good. I really didn't want to win. But I didn't want to give it to you either. Time for me to be the judge.
Aw.
Next week, all y'all going down. Nobody's going to win.
Chris Hawk wins.